Hey y'all, thanks for tuning into the Nintendo Drive. If you're hanging out with us on YouTube, be sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Or if you're getting cozy and listening to us on your podcast feed, make sure you're following and leaving us nice reviews. You can also support the show on Patreon and pick up some awesome merch. Links to those and more are in the description, but let's get the show started.
Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Coming in hot.
Hi.
Coming
We're
in
here.
hot.
We did
Here.
it. Yes.
We made it.
Who is that?
Who is that?
Lachlan.
Friend of the show,
here.
Lachlan. Special
Friend
guest
of the
Lachlan.
show. Wow. Look at this.
I was like, which phantom or ghoul did you just see? Because I was not following what you were
Who,
talking
me? The person who hasn't
me?
been here? Who,
about.
me?
Yeah. I have a whole new look and everything. Look at
Welcome back. Yes. We give you a couple weeks off and you come back with a totally new look and a Red Bull in hand.
I couldn't take it anymore, so I was just like, can't
I
be
get
on the Nintendo Drive.
I get it. I almost did the same thing, but you beat me to it. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do that. Lachlan's got the same haircut now.
The bravery.
Mhm.
Me too. I came this close.
Can you imagine all of us just do it? You want it?
We just do that. Just
like a
one day
pack?
show up. It would be the most
For
dramatic
extra
thing.
life. For extra life, we all show up with like
Yep.
the soft hair.
Do the lock lift.
I've got
It's
no
not
hair, my
parted in the
beard's
middle
gone.
anymore, so that's nice.
It's further back on my head. My
Yeah.
headset is covering.
Oh yeah, there it is.
the
Fascinating.
unfortunate.
Yeah, you never know what's hiding underneath.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know what's under
You
my
might find
hair or my
like
beard.
animals or something.
There's civilizations in there for all I know now that live on my head.
Birds. Yep.
Oh my goodness, guys!
Look at us.
We're here. We're back. The gang's back. I've got a confession to make. I am like addicted to that there Zelda game, y'all.
I got
another confession to make.
I gotta have a guitar handy, just you never know when this is gonna happen. Let me just like bust out a guitar. I love that Trey Parker is singing this Foo Fighters song for us.
Yeah. Man, I'm really excited to be chatting with you guys tonight about tears. And I'm excited that Lachlan's back. Hopefully, had a good break, and we've got Lachlan back here with us. We do really quickly need to give some thanks, everybody.
Let us give thanks.
Let us give thanks. We're gathered here tonight. Let us give thanks to the handsome boy Hambone Johnny.
So handsome.
For coming up to the exclusive tier over at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Hambone Johnny now gets access to such things as the Nintendo Drive post show that you guys may or may not be familiar with. We record a whole other dang show after the show, and Hambone gets that. All kinds of exclusive stuff like the Pants Patreon podcast for Patrons podcast, which is now on a rotating roster of Carpool Gaming hosts, of which I am next up.
Yes, lots of questions for you, dude. They're piling in. People are excited to have you jump into the mailbag.
I'm excited.
Nice.
So thanks, Hambone. Appreciate you, my friend. Yeah.
Have you seen Hambone in person? Like even better looking than you could ever imagine. Like this whole community. Like what is going on here? Everywhere
Makes
you
feel
look,
insecure.
I know,
so
just
pretty.
I know, husbandos just everywhere. What the heck, man?
He's like, I'm just out here playing some golf and Connecticut or wherever he's at.
Exactly. Like people good looking and getting jobs every week. Like it's just good stuff, man.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody's getting jobs.
You get a job. You get a job.
Holy moly. Gosh. I don't know. So we got I don't even really know where to start. We've all been playing the same thing. We like normally in a podcast you would be like, what are you playing? We've all been playing Arms. The 2017 Nintendo Switch Classic Arms. That's what you're all here to hear about, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
What a great online lobby.
I played for like maybe 2 hours, two other games.
Oh, okay.
Animal Crossing being one of the hours.
One of the hours, one of the two. Okay.
Yeah. And then a game called Go-Go Town, which will eventually come to Switch. It's kind of a town management simulator game. Super cute. The art style kind of reminds me of like the remastered version of like Link's Awakening that they did for the Switch.
Okay. Yeah.
So I played it on Steam, like early demo or whatever.
Ooh.
So there were some bugs because it's quite early. But I played some other things, but that was only 2 hours of those times.
Can I just say, when you said Go-Go Town, it made me think of Inspector Gadget. Like he would say Go-Go Gadget, whatever.
Go-Go Gadget Spring.
Go-Go Gadget Town. Like an entire town.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Wait, was it? What was this? Wasn't the cat's name Dr. Claw, or was that Dr. Claw and had a cat? Was Dr. Claw like the main villain in?
Claw was the villain.
What was the cat's name?
He had a cat, but
I was meowed at the end. I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time.
I'll get you next time, Gadget. Yeah, man.
Those are memories. I can't remember most things, but it's because my hard drive's full.
We're drudging this up. We're bringing up Inspector Gadget one week. You're getting Babar on other weeks. You never know what you're going to get here on the Nintendo Drive, man.
Babar.
You know what? Now that you're back, Locklith, we speculated about this. Do you know what Babar is?
I never know. Like, I didn't know what it was. No.
Okay. Yeah. So we are just told.
I recognize the elephant when I watched the short, which I watched like several times through. Like I recognized it, but I don't remember watching it. God. But I could have watched it, but I don't know. I was probably a babe. Yeah. Who knows?
Babar.
Just a babe.
Just a babar.
Like that cute little talking pig.
With probably more hair than this, actually. That's kind of funny. I did this, and then my husband's like, "You probably didn't have that since you were a baby." I said, "Well, I was born with more hair than this when I was born. Like
full head of hair,
just with the hair you had before."
Yeah, like well, it was slightly longer because
part down the middle.
It's that,
big old glasses. Oh, cute little baby Lachlan.
Just little bundled up. Hasn't grown at all hair in like 30 years. Same size, same glasses, same hair.
Same size. Yeah, but the hair was just a touch longer.
Just a touch.
So, yeah,
Mad Cat. Thank you. I can't see. Mad Cat from Inspector Gadget. Yes.
Such a simple name.
Of course. Well, like Battle Cat from He-Man. We talked about that.
Mad Cat's controllers. That's
true. Is. Yeah, the precursor. God knows how many references I've made on the show that nobody knows what I'm talking about. Like this is just the one that came up that we recognize. But
it's only
count on it.
Worse.
Count on it.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know, man. Well, Sean, have you played literally anything else other than Tears?
Literally nothing else. Nope. Literally nothing else. Got to spend all of Friday playing Zelda. Man, where to even start? Lachlan, do we need to address the elephant in the room?
I have it written down. I have it written down to address two things with Sean Capri and Tears and his gaming ability.
I'm terrible.
Not his gaming ability.
His gaming ability, because I called him out on at least one thing on Friday, and then on his own, Sean let us know of another thing that took him a while to finally do. Who knows how many hours into Tears? So
I don't even remember what that thing was.
Making the weapon, like you've done one.
Okay, so we're playing Zelda together.
Okay, so
Twitch.tv/Carpool Gaming Live. We did it all day. We didn't do like the 72-hour thing or 70-hour thing that Andros did, which is insane. He's probably beaten the game 4 times over. Shout out to Andros, Nintendo pals. Shout out to Andros. I suck at this game, you guys. And here I am. I've got I don't have my overlay, my HUD system with the map and health and whatever. I'm on pro mode. I'm an absolute pro gamer. And hours are going by. Let's just say we all like the game very, very much. And we're going to be diving into this in a lot of ways. I have lots to say. I'm glad all three of us are here. But I was just playing and I blink and then like 3 hours go by.
Dude.
And then also 2 hours after that go by and I opened my map for the first time in the game.
Okay. So you were lost and you didn't know what to do. I said, well, open your map, Sean. And if you've played Tears, you know that Link has a specific action that he only does the first time he opens his map, and then he never does that extra little action
like
again.
Animation.
Yeah, animation. Yeah.
Tablet he's got.
And so Sean opens his map, and Link does the animation. I said, Sean, is this the first time, 5 hours in?
Okay.
Is this the first time that you've opened your map? You're like, yeah.
Yo, what about it? I was just looking off into the distance. I was like, look at that tree over there. There's smoke coming out of it. I'll go check that out. And I'll go like get the rock things and the Korok friends. And I still haven't solved that what everybody talks about it. There's the cart system, like the mine cart kind of thing. And then there's the one track where one of them breaks. I didn't understand what was going on. Cord's trying to tell me doing this one thing, and you're saying like do something else. And I think I like fell off that Sky Island and went off to whatever the heck was next. But like I
died, you came back on a different part and you gave up.
Never went back.
There wasn't much up there anyways, like a chest, so you didn't miss out on anything.
Well, it's a rite of passage is something that I think that I missed.
We can't all figure out how a hook and a wire works.
I was very flustered, okay? And not only that, as it worked out, Seth and I were playing side by side with science here. Of course, we had both of our games showing at the same time, and just the way Breath of the Wild went, and is the same that Tears of the Kingdom goes. You can go off in any direction you want. Who knows what you will find? But as it turned out, I'm in a shrine, and Seth, I'm working at it, and it's got a little puzzle to it. Seth wanders into the exact same shrine 3 minutes later. And I can't figure this thing out. Like, this is, what did you call like the little like toy blocks? You gotta like put through blocks. The shapes. Yeah. It's like the like that video of like the game designer, like just put it in the square, put it in the square hole, put it in the square hole,
and this the pegs. And
man, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't figure out how to rotate. I still can't. I still don't know how to rotate things the right way. I'm like, this one's really tricky. And Seth walks in. No problem, waltzes through this thing, and he's out, and I'm still left in mine. It was so embarrassing. I will remember this for years to come.
Sean had like a 15-minute head start, y'all. And then Seth comes and I'm like, oh, y'all are doing the same shrine. And both of them are like, oh, that's cool. And Seth is just like zoned in, like knocks it out. And then Sean is still like,
we need to clip it. We need to go find it.
Somebody clipped it.
We need to go get that.
Clip that moment.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I suck at this game. Like, I don't understand how to do anything. I'm just mining shrines at this point so I can get as many hearts and stamina as possible. I didn't even like I saw somebody go like, I beat all the bosses in the sky or something like that. I'm like, I haven't even seen a boss. Like, I assume there is one. Like, I haven't seen a single boss. I've got a couple horses, and that's pretty cool. I got the first horse reward, the
pony points
trailer,
the Sony pony points.
The Sony pony. Yep,
pony points. I have a story about the horses, by the way, but I'll get into it.
All right, let's jump on your horse. You jump on it. Yep.
Well,
Get up on that horse.
From the horse's mouth. Come on. Not you. Wait.
I tamed my first horse in Tears of the Kingdom. And I unfortunately gave him away to an NPC by accident.
You accidentally gave it away?
There's like a little side quest. I won't go into the details, but essentially she needs a horse, and I wasn't paying attention. And I said, yeah. And I just kept hitting like A or something. And I gave my horse away to her, and I can't get him back now. Philippe, R.I.P.
Philippe, oh no.
Oh no, Philippe.
Ryan Felipe. Dang.
So sad.
His curly, beautiful blonde hair, like Justin Timberlake all over again.
I named him from the horse of Beauty and the Beast. So
that horse's name is Philippe?
Yeah, Philippe. Yeah, you're
Philippe.
right.
I do not remember that at all. Well, that's funny. That's sad.
I named my first horse New Horse because it's like in the screen right before. It's like, what would you like to name your new horse? And I'm like, well, that's already taken care
New
of.
horse.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
new horse. Yeah, I've got a horse called Pants, horse called New Horse. And I don't know, like, we're obviously not going to spoil anything as far as
I was gonna
like
say,
story
don't worry
beats,
about
but
that.
we are talking about the game.
Right.
So, like, I guess if you don't want to know anything about Zelda, then like this might not be the conversation for you.
Yeah,
like
if
but
you're
it's
that squeamish where you want to know
Right.
literally nothing.
like literally nothing. And I say that to maybe cross the line. I hope that I'm not. But if you played Breath of the Wild, your horses from Breath of the Wild are here. They didn't leave you. And that is amazing. And I think that is such a sweet, unexpected touch. I don't know if it does anything, like, other than if you really came to get close to your horses in Breath of the Wild, then they ain't gone. It's like a Psychomantis situation all over again.
My one horse that I got in Breath of the Wild moved over, and that was it.
Well, mine was named Bobby. My first horse was named Bobby after Bobby Paul's, which was very sweet. And the next horse was called Charlie after my dog. And unfortunately, neither of them are around anymore. That's kind of sad, but it's also kind of nice to see them honored again. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, neat.
Yeah. Vin Diesel in the chat says family, which is
Vin Diesel.
Welcome to the show, Vin Diesel.
I love this right now.
We're just gonna leave that up there for now. That comment is just gonna stay up there. Just what a great. I'm surprised it didn't say I am Groot.
Yeah, appreciate you, Vin Diesel.
Big fan.
No, big fan.
Dale.
I don't even know really where we do have, we fielded for questions as we always do in the Discord. If you're not already in our Discord community, links are always in the show notes and the video description. It's welcoming, it's free, it's friendly, it's amazing. Everybody is welcome. And that's where we field for questions every week. And basically all of them were about Tears of the Kingdom for the most part. And I almost wonder if like we should use them to kind of like structure our discussion. I feel like we're going to wind up hitting on all of this stuff anyway.
Yep.
There's the only non-Tears of the Kingdom related question comes from Hoppel, who says, why do you all have time to record a podcast plus post show? So that's kind of a thing. Like,
well, I don't. What we should address that here and now. I will not be doing the post show today. Just did the Xbox Drive before this. Had some travel earlier, so the whole podcasting schedule has been a little bit messed up this week. And I thank you too, and thank you to everybody who's here, who's normally would find us on youtube.com/carpoolgaming on Tuesday nights. We're here on Wednesday night, apparently alongside everybody else recording all at the same time.
Yeah.
So very cool that so many people are here. Everybody wants to talk about Zelda,
Yeah.
So yeah,
and that's just it. And so Sean won't be in the post show, but like it was important that we had all three of us here to talk about this game. And like the time thing has been crazy for me, you guys. Can you guys just take a shot in the dark? How much time do y'all think I spent in this game already? Just throw a number out there.
35.
Yeah,
35 hours.
Up.
Higher.
Up.
40?
Up.
More. It's like more.
60?
Okay, it's not quite 60. It's 56 hours.
Come on, really?
Well, geez, did you do it alongside of
Andros?
That's like pretty dang close.
It's
64 Yarden. What a great guess. Yeah, 64 should have been the guess.
Pretty good, pretty close, Yarden. I can't believe. So I got the stupid like parental control app on my phone so that I can
that's how you
track
can
my
tell.
playtime. Yeah, and I was just seeing it. The first day I was like, okay, like I played for like 11 hours and like 40 minutes or something on day one. That makes sense, right? Because we streamed it pretty much all day. I get that. But then the next day I played it for 10 hours. Then day after that, I played it for almost 12 hours.
And another one.
Then like every day I've played this game. I think the least amount of time I played this game was on Sunday, where I merely played for 7 hours, which was Mother's Day and my wife's birthday. So give me a medal for only playing 7 hours of Tears of the Kingdom on that day. Yeah,
Bravo.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
For your bravery.
I can't stop playing
Thank
it.
you for
And
your
like,
service.
Yeah, like Sean was saying, the hours just melt away. Like
Yeah, they really
just
do.
completely melt away. I am so hooked on this game. And the thing I keep thinking about when I'm playing this is, and by the way, I don't think the game is perfect. I do have like complaints with the game.
Yes.
However, like my thought the entire time playing is I can't believe how fresh this game feels. How whenever somebody would tell me, like Lockleth, like is like, oh, I'm playing Breath of the Wild for basically the first time, I would think to myself, you're so lucky to get to experience this for the first time again. And playing Tears of the Kingdom is like this magical little thing where I feel like I'm getting that feeling again for the first time.
Yeah,
you know
totally.
what I mean? Like, and that's so rare. I don't think I've ever had an experience like that where you can take something familiar, but also feel like you're getting the MIB mind wipe thing and getting to experience it for the first time. Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
I just had the Men in Black song singing in my head a little bit there.
Yeah.
And then you did the and I was like right on beat, like
yeah.
So good.
It's really
well
good,
said.
man.
Well said. All seriousness, like that's so well said that it is so familiar that it feels like playing it for the first time, but it's actually quite different. And I'm terrible at it. I'm terrible at it. And like, I don't know, maybe we'll spend a lot of our time gushing about it. I don't know if we have a question about any of our problems with it. I don't know if you want to start there, but like, I will say this, and I don't know if you guys will agree with me. People can throw shade in the chat if you like, but I think this game controls as poorly as the original Assassin's Creed. I do not like the controls. And I feel like one of the things that I really liked about Breath of the Wild, maybe I'm misremembering, was just that like if I wanted to go somewhere, if I wanted to do something, it just kind of happened. And this time I really, really have to think about every button I'm pushing. Like, wait, which one is my powers and which one? How do I get to my fuse? And how do I get to, like, is it bows or is it like if I push on this D-pad, this, and why is the down button for whistle? So I just feel like the controls get really complicated very, very quickly, and smarter people than I would have better recommendations on what they would like to see, but there's just simply no remapping at all, at all. So I don't know. That's kind of like my biggest gripe so far is just, I find myself fighting with the controls quite often.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you can switch jump and run, but you can't actually like remap any more of the controls than that. I have kind of gotten used to it, but like even for me, like I guess I'm like 56 hours into this thing and I'm still like struggling. Every now and then I'll hit the wrong power or the wrong button, or I'll, change out like a bow when I'm trying to change out a sword, something like that. And like, it's not as seamless as it should be because they're just getting like the maximum, like they're making the most use out of that. Yeah. Out of that.
There's so many things to do. And every time it happens to me, like if I'm trying to climb and then I accidentally like jump off or whatever, it's even basic stuff like that. Lockleth, you show up on my little shoulder and you go like, don't panic, stop panicking. Don't panic. And I'm like, I'm panicking. Like I'm doing, even I think that was on stream too. I was trying to glide down and I ended up like taking out my sword or something. Like I can't control any of this stuff, man. I'm terrible at the game, but I'm having fun. But the controls are, they're a little complicated, I think.
They were difficult for me. I've gotten better. Like when I'm not streaming it, like when I streamed it, I kept, it was new and it was hard to get used to. I don't know how many times I gave myself away by whistling. I did that in Breath of the Wild too, like trying to sneak past something, but I've gotten used to them now. Like I think I make less errors. And I was counting in my head, I'm possibly like at least 28 hours of gameplay now, because I counted up all of the times I streamed, because I streamed Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for at least 4 hours, all 3 days. 10 hours on Monday probably, because I played all day long because I wasn't working, and then like 5 hours last night. So it's like around 28 to 30 hours depending. So
dumping hours into this thing. I will say a little side comment here. I was traveling the last couple of days. I got to be the commercial, so I got to play on the plane and everything. And it was funny because I'm like, I play games on the internet in front of people, and of course that was embarrassing, but I think we're all laughing together. But I was worried about people watching me play on the plane, because I'm so bad at the game. I'm like, oh, people are going to be watching me. It's like game over screen just keeps popping up. I'm like, I'm so bad at this thing.
But the reason I'm terrible.
The reason I bring up the travel is Tears of the Kingdom came up twice, 2 separate conversations actually 3 from people who I didn't know even played games. They're like, oh, I got the new Zelda game. I'm like, I heard there's a new one. I'm going to get it. Like it obviously, we just heard today it sold more than 10 million copies in the first 3 days, which is monstrous. It's just, there's no words for that. But I kind of saw that coming when I started, like when you hear it break through to people you don't even know who play games, they can't help but talk about the new Zelda game in this case. That's totally remarkable. So I don't know if you guys are hearing other people talk about it or seeing it outside of your typical spheres, but I definitely saw that.
I love it. It feels, it's so rare. And this, I was thinking about this because we used to get this a lot, like kind of like those Nexus Point moments, like when we didn't have just a million games releasing like every week and everybody was kind of playing the same games. Like when a new Halo game came out, you knew that a lot of people were going to be playing it, or, you know, like there were a lot of these kind of like tentpole releases that you knew most people were going to be playing. And so there was a communal element around a lot of games. You would go to the midnight launches, you would have this kind of like vibe where you could talk to a lot of different people sharing in that experience. We don't get that often anymore because there are just so many other options out there than there used to be. So like, it's been really nice actually to play this and know that like almost everybody that I know is playing this too. And we all have like these different experiences in completely different ways.
Yeah, some people are good. Some people are good at the game. Some people are like professional architects and engineers. Some people are just good at moving shapes through holes in the wall. Like, it's just incredible, man. Some people remember that you can put mushrooms on your shields and that whole thing. Like, there is so much to do. And I guess what I'm trying to find is like, what is my style of play here? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I've quite found that yet, but I will say if you play long enough, badly enough, and then remember that you can fuse like a platinum shard to the end of your stick or whatever, like then the game becomes almost quite easy. Like the game does give you quite a lot to help yourself out. My thing that I'm finding, and I'm hearing the opposite stuff on podcasts like Player One podcasts, they're like, I've got so many arrows. I'm like, I got no arrows. I'm all out of arrows. Where are the arrows? Where are you finding your arrows? I wish I could craft arrows, but I don't know, man. I'm not good at any of it. I'm not good at building things. Although I will say it's just so rewarding to basically break the shrines. Yeah. Like it's like, it looks like there's a particular design and there's kind of like a hint that it gives you at the beginning of each one. And you're like, well, I'll just do this instead.
Recall is so broken. Recall is
totally
like the most broken ability. I cannot tell you the amount of shrines where I have just literally taken a thing to use as a platform, lift it in the air, drop it, and then just use recall, like step on it, and then recall just brings me up to the ledge. Like, it just breaks like so many different shrines. I can't wait to see somebody's already speed ran it in like 90 minutes or something like that. So well, I can't wait to see how low that time gets. The game gives you so many like tools. I was thinking about kind of like the nature of open world games and why these games feel so special. And I think it is that encouragement to break it.
Just do whatever you want.
Like, yeah, just play, and who cares if you break it? Like, that's actually kind of the point. There's a moment, and you'll appreciate this, Sean, because I'll find a way to relate anything to Neon White if you give me enough time to do so. There's a moment when playing Neon White, and the moment that Neon White kind of clicked for me was when I realized there's a level in that game where they give you like a sniper right away, and I realized, oh, I don't have to run all the way over to the balloons. I can just shoot them from the beginning of the stage.
Yes,
and save all kinds of time. And that was the moment where it like clicked for me in Neon White, and that kind of moment of breaking the game is the entirety of Tears of the Kingdom. Like, that's what it all is, and like that to me is so special. And it's like, it goes back to before we started calling this genre open world, we called it sandbox, right? And like, that's because we had all of these toys in the sandbox. And I feel like open world games have really moved away from that to where now it's just like big empty spaces with boxes to check. This is going back to a sandbox where you just have toys.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, let's talk about this, man. So number one, I want to say, if you use Ultra Hand, which is the lamest name for any ability in any video game, I don't care what it's a callback to. It's terrible. It's a terrible name.
Cute.
Use Ultra Hand, pick up a log, like cut down a tree and pick up that thing, wave it around, and then use recall, and then you can take down any big enemies you want, because it'll just smack them around. It'll just like, it'll take care of them, and then you go finish them off, and it's all good. But yes, this notion of like why we play games. This is a game that I have selected. I am playing day one. I am not in a committed relationship to this. I will have side pieces or whatever, just little, I'll be running around on Zelda is what I said on the Xbox Drive. But there's no XP. There's no like notable progression, really. Like there is, but not in the traditional sense of like filling up your bar or leveling up to the next thing. And there's just like this purity to it that once I kind of realized it once again, because it's the same with Breath of the Wild. I realized it during our stream. I'm like, I'm not playing to the next level. I'm not playing to the next like traditional gamified like progression mark. And there's something so pure about that. And I think that's the Nintendo magic to this. And we talk about it a lot, especially on the Xbox Drive. We talked about this with like Halo, with like what keeps you coming back. And the constant commentary there is, I need new battle passes. I need new season passes or whatever, like I need the next cosmetic, whatever it happens to be. And I've always kind of had an issue with that's the requirement to keep people engaged over a long period of time, is this carrot at the end of a stick that is completely made up, that like it activates some sort of weird dopamine hit. And this is different. This isn't a cheap dopamine hit. It feels good to discover and learn and explore. And there's like such a childish innocence to it that I think that's what I've really started to tap into. And I have a huge appreciation for that. So that's kind of like where my heart is with this game, aside from control issues and a few other things. Like I wish I could, with Ultra Hand, I wish I could control that a little bit better. Like I want to push it and all that, push it away. Rotation certainly, but sometimes I can't always tell how close the object is to Link. I had one part where I was trying to drop explosive boxes on an enemy, and I didn't realize that it was so close to me, and I couldn't tell. I couldn't push it further away. It just kind of happened to be that way. If there was space, it would kind of extend. And if there's tips out there that people have for me on this, because Lord knows I'm terrible at it, but it just seems to me like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth because I want it simple and I'm asking for something complicated here. I realize that, but
I hear you.
Yeah, I understand the space,
the
spatial recognition type of thing.
I've had that issue. Yeah, and like I don't like the way you have to change out your bows. Like, why don't you just tie that down on the D-pad?
Totally.
Like, little things. Like, I have little teeny tiny complaints like that, but I still think that like the entire time I'm playing it, I'm like, I can't believe that this game has got all of these different systems working together at once, and it's not broken.
Yeah,
like there's no bugs.
Works.
It's not crashing. It totally works. Yeah, there's some little frame dips here and there, but for the most part. Yeah, for the most part, it's pretty solid. Like it's running on a little underpowered tablet. We all know it's underpowered, right? There's no question. But like I'm looking at this, I'm like, this has got to be the most technically impressive game Nintendo has ever made. Like,
which brings me back to Breath of the Wild. Like that was this is on a tablet, and that was brand new back then. And here we are again, having this appreciation for it. Just gives me another chance to shame Pokemon once again.
Right.
What the hell?
I was
not
about
acceptable.
To say something. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Like you play this, and this game, by the way, I'm not trying to like overtly spoil too much, but there's not just one map in this game, right? And like this game is huge. Like this game is many times the size of Breath of the Wild, and it's got so much going on. And like it became clear to me pretty quickly why this game took like 6+ years to make,
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like the wait was long, but like it was well worth it to get something like this. And again, no story spoilers either, but the story here is good. Like Breath of the Wild story is just kind of nothing, like for me. Like the boss fights in Breath of the Wild, I think are kind of like weak, and like all of that stuff. It's like a checklist of the things that I didn't like about Breath of the Wild are more or less addressed here.
Yeah.
And so it's like pretty easy for me to tell, like when the reviews were coming out before we had played it, I was like, how is it possible that this game is better than Breath of the Wild? But like it is. You know, it makes like the line Tom Marks from IGN in his review said a line that I really like, which is it makes Breath of the Wild look like a first draft. You know,
Yes, yep,
and like it does, like, and it makes it really hard to go back to, which I think is the power of a great sequel. Is that like Breath of the Wild does look like kind of pedestrian compared to this, you know? So yeah, man. Should we tackle some of these questions?
I was about to cover
to guide our conversation.
Yeah,
totally.
Well,
absolutely.
Because y'all are going into the love of the game and such, but Fulia's question kind of relates to that. So she asks, as someone who is living vicariously through everyone else's experience of tears, whatever you want to say, I want to know what it is about the game that is sucking you all in so much that you can't seem to put it down for a second. Even my partner is loving this game so much so that he takes pride in his little creations to solve certain puzzles. Please explain. Thoughts, feelings?
There's no way. You can't explain it. It's Zelda. It's just a Nintendo bump. You know, like there's nothing actually of substance here. It's just because it's Nintendo and we're all just a bunch of fanboys over here.
It's Zelda, man.
Well, I think I'll take a first stab at it. I think it's just that kind of no matter who, I think number one, I kind of touched on already. There's no progression. There's no levels. So there's always something else to do that the game is naturally kind of pulling you towards. And that can, there's no natural, like I should stop playing now. Anytime you might even think that, like, I'll just do one more shrine. You get out of the shrine. It's like, oh, there's a smoking, like there's a puff of smoke over there. I should go check that out. Or there's a Korok thing, or a Korok person who I should.
Geese. Look at that. Third B formation.
God, there's so much to be distracted with. I think that's number one. Number two is slipping my mind. So Seth, maybe what's on?
No, you went the place I was going to go, which is that, like, yeah, there is always something you could be doing. Like at any point, like you take a screenshot of the game, anywhere you're looking, there's something to do. If it's a shrine, if it's one of the Koroks, if it's like some kind of like thing that you can play around with, if it's, you know, whatever, like a new story mission or a side quest,
or a giant rock crawls out of the ground, you got to fight that dude. Like, what the heck, man?
There's always something. There's always something
to cook.
And like, even
Bad Bitch just told me, he's like, he spent 30 minutes cooking today.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just do that.
Especially, I'm scanning in all my amiibo on my desk here. Immediately to my right is just every Zelda amiibo that are just living on my desk right now because I scan them in every day trying to get my stupid
all the abandoned chests that you're leaving behind.
Oh my god, I was doing that today, and it was raining, and the chests are metallic, so they conduct electricity.
Oh no!
So I was surrounded by all these chests from amiibo, and I just see them all. Yeah, like glinting with lightning, and it just made this enormous lightning crash. I was able to get away, but like it created it should have made like a hole in the ground. The crash was so crazy, you know. I love stuff like that. There's just there's so much to do, like anywhere you look in the game, and like there is no natural stopping point. So you just keep going and going and going.
No end of the chapter. I mean, maybe the boss, again, I haven't touched any bosses yet, so who knows? And I think
that though, like by the time you get done with something like that, and again, no spoilers, but like the game keeps giving you stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It's giving.
And I think you always feel this was a magic that was in Breath of the Wild as well. You're like, what are the chances I found this? And I don't know how they do that. Like, how am I finding all this stuff? How did I find, maybe just by chance, this random traveler who was hearing rumors of somebody hunting down incredible like armor and clothes and things like that? And let me mark that on your map. And there's 4 or 5 things for you to go hunt down. And like, how did I find that one person? You know, like, how am I being guided in the right direction? If I feel like I feel like I'm always lucky to discover something. And then on the note that there is so much to do, that means that there's so many different ways to engage with the game, which on a person-to-person level means I could play different from Seth, but I also, you know, could have my multiple personality disorder activated in this game, where at one moment I'm an engineer, on the next moment I'm a explorer, on the next moment I'm climbing up stuff, or I'm building things, or I like just going to collect stuff, or I'm going to be in the air, I'm just going to do the towers. Like, I just think that I feel myself switching from, I'm going to do this. I'm tired of doing the shrine, so I'm going to flip to seeing what I can go build. And if I'm tired with that, I can go do something else. So maybe it's a different way of saying the same thing, but I just feel like I can activate a different part of my brain, and I don't get tired of playing what essentially is the same game, but in so many different ways.
Yeah. It takes a lot for me to stop playing it when I've started playing it. And so I don't know if it's because I didn't get very far in Breath of the Wild, and possibly because there's not a lot of people that are hyped about it and playing it the same time when I actually played it earlier this year. But I'm enjoying this more than the amount of time or the 5 streams I did for Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's because there's more camaraderie, like everyone is in on it and everyone's excited about it. We're all experiencing it at the same time. I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. But I felt like I got into things to do a lot quicker than Breath of the Wild. It seemed very slow going, and for me anyways. And so for Tears of the Kingdom, my focus has been the shrines and opening the map. However, that's because I rely on my map.
La-di-da.
La-di-da. That map, it's a beautiful thing, that map. And it kind of guides you, like actually showing you things if you'd open it
like
up.
a map does.
Yeah, like a map, It's like it's in the name or something. But but that's like been my main focus, is working on the shrines, and I've done so many of them now. Probably because I like puzzle games. Portal is one of my favorite games. I mean, Sean said himself that he could never really handle Portal. So, I mean, Exhibit A over here. those pegs,
just standing here.
It's just too much. But for me, I actually really enjoy the puzzle bits, because you could do it, like you said, you can break the game too. So I do some of them like relatively like it's supposed to, but no one does it the same. Like I've seen others like Seth, you, Sean, I've watched other streamers do the same shrines that I've already done.
Yeah.
And it's wild to see everyone go about it differently. And I think that's that alone encompasses the game as a whole. Like everyone is doing it differently. Like, yes, we all have the same game, and we all kind of have the same mechanics and things, but I don't know. I've never seen anyone do something the same.
Totally.
That makes sense.
It's almost like you're not like, I almost don't want to do it the way that it seems to be telling me to do it. I saw one video where very early in the game, you get kind of like 2 planks, and it seems like you're meant to put those together to make a bridge that you cross this gap. And instead of doing that, this person basically created a catapult. They put one of the planks kind of just hanging over the edge and stood on the end, and then took the other one and dropped it on it. So it flung him across the chasm. And I'm like, that is magical. It's such a simple tutorial kind of level thing. Like, this is how you build a bridge. And they went catapult on it. And I don't know, that's something I'm going to be keeping in mind probably the entire time I play this. Like, there's always something not obvious. There's always a not obvious solution or option available to you, which I think is incredible.
Yeah. It almost like, it's almost like a weird, like, social experiment. Like, it's almost like you're seeing the way that other people's brains work differently. And and like the game,
for you.
Or not so well for others.
Not at all for me.
Well, I've had plenty
example,
of like,
in one case, a brain doesn't work.
Oh, geese.
Geese. The land, the Breath of the Wild place.
Breath of the Wild place.
I have had a couple moments like that. Don't worry. I've had plenty of stupid moments. I was doing a side quest. Well, dude, let me tell you this. I was doing a side quest last time. My wife was watching me play. And by the way, she likes watching me play this. She does not normally like to watch me play games, but she likes watching me play this. And I'm playing, and I did this side quest where I had to get these people like across a river, and I like, my whole goal, apparently what the game wanted me to do was build them like a boat, but I was like, no, I'm going to build a ridiculously long bridge made of like, because they have those little like stations throughout the world that have like wood and wheels and whatnot. there were two that were like kind of close by. So I just walked from one to the other and built this bridge made out of all of the wood from both and just like slowly walked it over to the river and made a bridge long enough to span the entire river. It was like, could have just built a boat,
No.
And the game gives you options, like enough room to experiment like that. And I think that has a lot to do with it too. So hopefully that answered Fulia's question.
It's clear as mud.
Yeah.
Basically, it's fun.
We like it.
Because it's fun, right?
Yeah, I don't hate it.
I wanted to ask you guys this because Quagmire brings up a good question. How are you all playing Tears of the Kingdom? Are you mainlining the story, side quests, shrines? I've been out adventuring and doing mostly shrines and side quests. I did my first event in Rito area trying to avoid spoilers. And I just want to say, Quagmire, I did like exactly the same. I have done no story stuff except for literally today. I did what he's talking about. And that's the first story thing that I did after getting my glider. The first 50 hours I played this game, I did zero story stuff at all. So I'm curious how you guys fall on that.
Similarly, there's always a few like main quest things you can do. So I've done a few of them, not just the one like main one, but I've done some of the other main ones as well. So I'm getting like a little taste around the things, but I am focusing mainly on the shrines and the towers because I are baby and I need more hearts and more stamina because I don't. Okay, so my whole the way I play, like Sean, you say you're bad at the game, but you know what I do? I avoid every enemy if possible. I'm constantly sneaking around. No bokoblin will see me. I have a bokoblin hat. Like if they see me, I'm just one of them. Like
That's amazing.
I'm just sneaking around,
hiding a cardboard box,
just tiptoeing. Like I'm straight up snaking it everywhere, and like, and I don't want. I've come across one mini boss, I guess, because they had the big red thing at the top. I've only come across one, and that was the most frustrating thing. And so after that, I'm glad I didn't stream it because I was livid. Like my husband he got real quiet because I was very angry.
Try doing that on a plane with a bunch of strangers around you.
I could never.
Getting destroyed. I'm just like,
could never.
Game's
a little tighter.
Like,
it can be tough in areas for sure.
So I'm trying to get the shrines done so I can increase my hearts so that I feel more confident to go into some of these bosses that I'm seeing from afar, but I'm going nowhere near them because I'm not. I are baby. I'm not ready. But I do get sidetracked with like side quests along the way. So it is that whole like I have a plan of action, but I do as I'm here, like, oh, I can do these few little quests while I'm in this area, and then I'll move on to the next thing. It's just I'm all over the place.
Yeah. It's funny, like I do still, even though I already highlighted that I like that there's not the traditional like progression kind of meters there. You know, Seth, you and I, we all played so much on day one, and I couldn't help but feel like I hadn't done anything. Like I played so much of it, and I didn't really feel like I had really accomplished much. So that's always going to be at odds with me, and that probably will be the thing that primarily drives me to do one of the sort of measurable quests, whether it's a mainline or side quest or something like that. I landed in, I don't know if this is a spoiler to say, but like the Zora are in every game. Like I found them, and I got out of there. Like it was an accident. I didn't mean to be there. I'm like, I know this is going to be a thing, whatever happens here. So I bounced, and I only bring it up to kind of give you a sense of how I'm playing the game. That I saw that could have been a place I probably spend the next 15 hours in, and I just left. I'm like, I'm going to go do another tower. I'm going to go find these other clothes. What are these caves I'm going to go spelunk in? I'd rather do that in this moment. But when we come back next week, like who knows? Who knows what what nonsense I'm gonna get up to? I still want to be able to steer my vehicles. I don't have one of those things. I'm also
they do exist. Found that out.
Yes,
do it.
Yes, and I will say, and this might be just like a broken me brain kind of thing, is I'm very nervous to use my Zonai devices like that I've collected. I feel like I'm gonna run out if I get a little bit too crazy. So I am hoarding that. I will admit. I'm hoarding those a little bit, and I don't think I need to. I think I should just play with them. You
just
know?
play with them. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's an easy way to get a lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
I
worry
should
about
just
that.
play with them. Okay.
Just play. Just
Play
go,
with
just
your
go
devices,
crazy.
Play with my
Sean.
toy. Like, look, I got my amiibo in boxes here. Okay, like some of them.
Just such
Yeah.
a Sean thing. I'll leave them in their little capsules. I'll never take
I
them
don't
out.
want to run out. Look, I don't have any arrows. Okay, like I've already.
They could be worth something later. Let's not touch them.
Some of them are.
Dude, but I'm right with Quagmire. Literally I did no story stuff. The first thing that I wanted to do was open up the whole map, do all those Skyview towers.
Oh yeah.
And so that was the first kind of like thing that I tackled. And even though I was like extraordinarily underleveled to go to some of these areas, I'm bumping into enemies that I had to like dodge out of the way of their attacks, because if they did hit me, I was going to get one-shotted, you know?
But if you get them, you get good stuff. Like that's, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a component to this game as well that we don't really talk about. Like that risk reward thing that people often say, like, oh, it's Elden Ring or Dark Souls. Like it is kind of here. Like it's not the same, obviously, but I did my first geoglyph with Impa. I did that very first one, so that was kind of neat. And I could see myself kind of going to find some more of those. Yeah.
It's so cool. You'll just be like flying around. And that's another thing that's so smart about this game is like the newfound verticality that the entire thing has, because the game has got layers, because the game has got, if I'm up in the sky, like that's yet another thing to distract me. Not only being up there, but the view that gives me of the world below. Yeah. Like all of a sudden I can see things from the sky. Now I see a bunch of shrines. Now I see one of those geoglyphs or whatever. Now I can go and do that. Like,
yeah, you don't need a map to see that stuff. It's all right there in front of you. You don't have to open your map ever. Yeah. Look, come on.
She's mouthing help me right now. Yeah. So but I will say onions do have layers, Fulia. That is what it is. I'll say too though, like, and again, no spoilers, but the story is really good. And I did my first major like story thing today, and I was like really impressed by just instantly how much better the story is here.
Yeah.
And there is some stuff in here, to speak vaguely, that feels much more in line with kind of what you expect from Zelda. This game is kind of having its cake and eating it too a little bit, where it feels very new and experimental, but it even has shades of like the kind of things you know and love from past Zeldas, even like enemies. Like when we were playing on stream and I saw my first like, and I was like, this game's got likes, you know? Like little things like that.
I call them limp biscuits.
Why?
Because they're limp.
Well,
no.
well,
they're quite gross, y'all. Not a fan.
No way.
Where's the lie though?
Shot is broken now.
Where's the lie?
I don't know what their actual names are. That's what I've been calling them.
They're called likes.
My God, says
Gideon. They're a classic Zelda enemy, and there are a few like classic Zelda enemies that return. So
they're nasty. They've looked nasty from the beginning. There's some others that I'm like, nope.
These flaccid creatures just all over the place.
Oh, you didn't have to take it there.
Yeah, that's too far.
Oh, yeah, that was me. Okay, yeah.
How dare?
How dare?
There are children here.
Oh my goodness. Okay, moving along.
Anyways,
Bowsah says the internet seems to be using the Breath of the Wild poo prize to justify violence to the Koroks. Shouldn't that hate be directed at Hestu instead? # save the Koroks. Sean, you on stream were very...
Sean gives up on them.
I would say negligent. Yeah, was the word that I was going to use.
Yeah, they can figure it out on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ends up with some enemy territory. Well, sorry, bud. Runs away.
R.I.P.
Yeah, I said it before, you know, maybe I might get in the mood for the towers, maybe the shrines, maybe spend the next 30 hours ignoring these Korok people, and I'll figure that out later. Like right now, I'm not worried about it. What the reason I did it, for all seriousness, is I was not good at building stuff. Like whatever it was required to get them from one place to another, like I definitely wasn't good at it, and I didn't want to fight with it at the time. So I'll come back to them. And also I like seeing people just like launch them into like wherever they need to go. Like, yeah, to your point, like about violence, yes, that's how I want to handle this. I don't want to just like guide them along or like put them down a slide or whatever. Like, yeah, how do I explode the platform that they're sitting on? And
somebody built a cross and crucified them on it. I saw.
Yeah, that's
my god.
Like they did, like people are like building like torture devices for these Koroks.
Braveheart.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
The worst that I've done is just put one on a rocket on a I guess on an incline, because you know their buddy is like on this freaking tall mushroom way up here, and it's like, I'm gonna get to my friend, and like I was like, this is the only, they give you the objects, so like there's a rocket around me. I was like, well, this is clearly what I'm supposed to be doing. So I put him on there and shoot him up. He goes too far and falls down a cliff, but that was the only time I did that.
He's a rocket man.
Didn't quite make it, but I use the ultra hand a lot if I can.
I've had some that I just walk them there. I just pick them up and just slowly walk them there.
See, but that's what I don't want. I don't know. That seems, I want to do something fun with them. So,
but I don't like building.
I don't want to. Well, I'll figure it out. I'll learn. I got a growth mindset.
Crucify all the Koroks, says Garrett in the chat.
Damn.
Man, people are a little too mean to the Koroks. That is surprising to me.
I've saved like over 30 of them, so
wow.
I'm trying to help the poor things.
I'm trying to help them
too. Gotta get that inventory space. That's the only reason I'm doing it.
Yeah. I don't know that I have an answer to this next question from Antix. Antix says, "Hi, my name is Antix and I'm addicted to Tears of the Kingdom." Hi, Antix.
Hi, Antix.
How does one stop playing this game for like 5 minutes? I'm finding something new or different around literally every corner, despite having spent so much time with the original, and that's not even including the new sections of the map. I don't know how you stop. I haven't figured it out.
Can't
I want to be playing it right now.
I gotta work.
Yeah.
It's the only thing stopping me.
Do you have to? Do you really have to?
I have the game now. I guess I don't need money to buy it, so maybe not.
You can just be homeless.
That was it. No. Just be homeless.
Just, all you got to do is worry about finding an AC adapter somewhere, and you'll be fine.
McDonald's.
This is what I'm glad that Nintendo, the next game from Nintendo is Pikmin. Like, you got all the time in the world. It's not like they're putting out Splatoon 4 next month or ARMS 2. Like, this game has some room to breathe, and thank the Lord for that.
Is it July or June for Pikmin?
July. Yeah,
21st, I think. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we've got like a good couple months of breathing room. It's so funny too, because like I remember a lot of people were kind of just like, "What if Tears of the Kingdom and Pikmin is it?" I was like, I kind of hope that's all they got.
Yeah,
I'm playing this thing for the rest of the year, probably. And like it's interesting too playing this because like I've already spent so much time with it, and to your point earlier, I feel like I've done nothing. Like I feel like I'm like nearly 60 hours in, and I feel like I have done nothing. Like I feel like I've made basically no progress, which is crazy.
Who cares if the end of the world is happening? Like you find those Korok seeds, like don't rush. Don't rush to save the world.
What's Ganon doing?
What is he doing?
I don't know.
Just sitting there thinking about stuff. Playing Nintendo.
Yeah, he's playing too. That's what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Getting hydrated.
Okay. Yeah, staying hydrated, drinking all that water. There was a question here from I Can't See, which I think I Can't See says, question for the show. Let's play a Tears of the Kingdom game. They throw a lot of blank at you, but not blank. Examples, they throw a lot of spicy food ingredients at you, but not warm clothes. They throw a lot of weapons at you, but not shields. Sorry for the bad grammar. I talk better than I type. So
that makes sense. That makes sense.
So I'm trying to think of a good, like this reminds me of like that like in Soviet Russia, things, like in Soviet Russia game plays you, kind of thing.
Nope.
I don't know what I would say to this.
They throw a lot of the building materials at you. Like every road has several like stations, but not enough of the gotcha machine things. Like, I want more of those. I mean, I know where they are. I've located some. They're on my map now. I can go find them again, especially if it's near a shrine. It's easy to just fast travel, but
a lot of them are in the sky too.
yeah,
There's a lot of them in the sky. So I'll say that.
Game throws a lot of flint at you, not enough arrows. I need
so
arrows.
much wood and not enough arrows.
I wish I could craft arrows. Wish I could just make
2 actually.
I keep buying them from Beetle at every stable.
Oh yeah, every time I see a stable.
Not enough. I mean, take your pick, but not enough rupees. Where's all the rupees?
Gotta pick up those rocks, Sean.
Yeah, man, they throw enough. I'll say this, because something that has been a big driving force for me with the amiibo is that glider fabric, the special glider fabrics. And I am having like such a hard time getting the one that I want. There's a special Majora's Mask glider fabric that you can get from scanning in the Young Link amiibo. So like, and because you can only scan it once a day, I've been scanning this stupid thing every day, trying to get this
dailies
thing. And getting my dailies in, dude. If I'm up past midnight, I'm turning the game on and just scanning it. Like, that's
so
just
every night.
Yeah, you can time travel.
Basically. I could, but I don't want to do that. I want to. I don't know. I don't know if it's like gamer pride or something. It's stupid, but they throw a lot of glider fabric at me, but not the one that I want. Is what I'll say.
Fair.
So, goodness gracious. Yeah.
Not enough. Like, you can attach certain things to, well, pretty much anything to arrows. There's these like fire fruit. Like, I know I see it all throughout, but it's like when I actually need them for something or specific enemy.
Don't hurt yourself.
Limp Biscuit, Sean. And I don't have enough in my pockets to get through this cave where those would be valuable to me. The same with like the bomb fruit too, or whatever. So
bomb fruit for sure. Yeah. More of that. Yeah.
Bombs.
They're the
bombs.
The for a while there, again, because I'm bad at games, it took me a long time to realize that for a lot of things you can just throw the items.
Yeah,
I kept thinking I had to fuse them to my arrows, so maybe that's why I'm out of arrows. If I ever wanted to use it,
if you ever want to just hold something,
I could just throw the bombs like that. That's fine. I kept using the arrows to do that, but I really like the flame pepper thingies. You throw them in the grass, which lights it on fire, but it creates this gust of wind that you can then use your glider to get a kind of a vertical advantage on things. That's a move I've really been enjoying, because like I'm not terrible at the game, I'm bad at the game, but I did that move and I'm like, look at me, like little gust of wind.
Look at me go.
Take that.
Yeah.
Oh my Adam, goodness. I can't put that on the screen, man. Like
I laughed at it, but no, let's not put that on the screen.
Yeah,
it's not safe for work.
We can't address that. I'm excited to do, like, I'm excited about the possibilities with this game. I'm excited to do things like later on when we've all gotten like further and we can do like a spoiler, cast or something, like probably separate from this show, probably separate thing, but like I'm excited to do stuff like that around this game. Like just chat about some of the things in addition to, like, I feel like this is like early impressions and the game's only been out for a few days at this point, but like I'm excited to just kind of come back every week with like stories of like dumb things that we've done in the game. And like I've already got several little stupid stories of things that I've done, and like I feel like this game is just a collection of little emergent things like that. It's very good. I like this game a lot.
I do
remember last week we're like, what if it's bad? Like, it's not. We had nothing to worry about.
No, those fears were assuaged pretty quick.
Yeah.
I've taken so many like in-game screenshots of like things, and like I haven't shared a lot of them because I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm excited to finally be able to share some, like, and talk about some of the characters and add them to possible lists. Yep, exactly. Like,
heels, baby.
I have a running list in my brain, and I'm taking a screenshot of that individual so I don't forget.
Yeah, gonna have to redo the and look, and the husbando list got a little more stacked after this game too. I'll say that too. Yeah.
If you were there for Friday when I hung out with Seth and Sean. I didn't play. I watched them do it for science, and I just chilled. I did make some of my opinions known on some of the characters.
Your
especially
boy
one where
Raru.
Raru.
Seth was like, "We just met him." I was like, "I don't care. I do not care."
Yeah. It's I'm really excited to chat about the story later too. Like that's probably the
that
thing
too.
that I can't wait to chat about. Like, yeah, like just some of that's like that character is like completely different than I thought he was going to be. And I'm just like I'm very just jazzed. Like I feel more energized about this game than I have about games in a long time. And it's nice for me as a Nintendo fan because people have been listening to this show. Like, y'all know that like I've been kind of burnt a little bit by not just games in general, but like first party Nintendo games have not really landed with me this year until now. Like, didn't really like Bayonetta Origins, didn't really like Advance Wars. And like, so it's nice to have something come out like this that just kind of has completely arrested me, and I can't stop playing it, so feels good. Feels good
To be excited about a game that you look forward to, you play it, you had a good time. I will say, like, I'm not going to be buying too many games day one. But man, that was so fun to just take the day off and dedicate it to this. Like it all felt very old school for whether people were out there.
Or Domino's
midnight release, like just we had pizza, and Larry just took forever.
Shout outs to Jonah.
Jonah was the cook. Yes, Larry was a good delivery man. His name wasn't really Larry. There's no way his name was Larry. I'll just say that much. But Jonah, man, took forever.
He was working hard.
Jonah.
It was a big hockey night.
It was a hockey night. Yes, it was a hockey night.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a lot of Zaz to make. So.
Well, we'll launch the Carpool Gaming Tears of the Kingdom YouTube channel, just dedicate to that.
Feels like we should at this point.
Oh my gosh, there's so much to do. There's so much to play. It runs great. I have the fact that the interface with it is no good. Also play with Japanese voice just for even a little bit. Just discover it a little bit. It's really good.
Try it out.
Just give it a shot and then do French. Why not?
Play a little French. C'est la vie.
Turn that on, but dang it, don't turn on the map.
God forbid.
Controls. Yep. Who needs a map?
I will say, I didn't know you could turn off the HUD before, and I do turn it off on occasion, but it's only to take beautiful screenshots of the scenery around me. Like, oh yeah, there's one thing I learned from Sean this past weekend.
Pro mode. Yeah. Hoppel in the chat says CPGTOTKYC. Dude, I thought you were giving away a game. I thought that was a game code.
That was a game code. Yeah. Dang. All right. Hoppel just out here giving away
Carpool Gaming Tears of the Kingdom YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of anything else, but like everything I'm thinking of is like spoilers, and like, I don't want to. Yeah, it's so hard to like walk that line. Because it is so fresh and new. I don't know.
Early impressions. Like we're only 60. We're only 100 hours in. Collectively.
between the three of us, we've only put over 100 hours in.
Yeah,
early days. Right.
My gosh, 100 hours. I'm so glad I took Friday all day off and Monday because I've just been geeking out playing that all weekend. Besides those like 2 hours. Well, actually, I only played an hour of Animal Crossing this weekend outside of Tears. So it's just been that.
Star Athena with a great question in the chat says, is it game of the year?
It's going to be tough. I mean, like the year's only, it's not even half over, right? And the thing that I'm trying to be cognizant of too is like, I'm so hooked on this, and Diablo 4 comes out in like 3 weeks or something. You got so many, and we don't even really know the size of what the end of the year is going to be like for Nintendo or really
6
anybody
months.
else. So we've got so much time, but it is going to be I would be shocked if something comes out this year. Like if there is something that comes out for me personally this year that I like more than Tears of the Kingdom, like it's gonna be a pretty damn good year for video games.
So, like I'm excited for Pikmin, but I don't think it's gonna hit the same as this.
No, not quite.
Like, it's going to be cute. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to play it, but I don't know. There's just something about this, and I don't remember who said it.
Can't believe
I don't know
exists.
who said it earlier. I think it was Bowsah. I haven't had the same feelings since Animal Crossing New Horizons in 2020.
The perfect comparison. Yep. Yep. That Nexus point. You know, it's so rare. We never get stuff like this anymore, you know? Yeah. That's right. X gonna give it to you.
Nexus.
Oh my gosh.
NX. The NX point.
The NX point.
Default.
I don't even know what's wrong. Which one's wrong anymore?
I don't either.
Me either.
Where's
We've
our
gaslighted ourselves.
Tears.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 16. Adam K points out in the chat. Yeah, I mean, like, there's so many games coming out this year, guys.
That's true. But y'all know, if we want to move on, I've got my physical for the evening.
Please, send us home.
I showed it on my stream, but I haven't showed it to all the carpool peeps. But I did get the Tears of the Kingdom OLED case, because my OLED is just the regular OLED. I didn't get the Tears OLED. But I didn't have a proper case for my OLED, and I thought I was just squeezing it into my Animal Crossing edition Switch case. It made me nervous.
Too big.
Yeah. It's like trying to put a square peg in a round hole. It just wasn't quite right. So I figured. Well, I solved it by getting this nice quality. I like it. I like
those crop circles.
Yep, got all the crop circles in the black and then in the gold. So not mad about that. Not mad one bit. But Sean, where can people find you on the interwebs?
Oh goodness, what device should you open up this time around? Go to your BlackBerry. Get your BlackBerry Pearl out and open the old internet browser on there. Type in the address bar http://www.twitter.com/Sean Capri. Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. You can follow me there and give me tips. You can also find me in the Discord. Apparently, we're going to have to change our usernames in the Discord here eventually. But I need tips. I need your help. No spoilers. This is not a green light to just spoil and ruin the game for me. But like I want to know how people are playing Tears of the Kingdom and how, like, aside from opening your map every once in a while, what are you all doing? And also, we'll be streaming this game much more. Twitch.tv/Carpool Gaming live. This game, we're going to play Humanity, which we just got a code from the devs on, which is a very cool game on Steam and PS5. I got a bunch of games from the library that I was talking to Ryan Turford on the Xbox
What do you got
Drive.
there? You got Dead Space.
I got Dead Space Remake. I got PGA Tour, the Masters, and I got Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I even say Z for
Zed
all y'all.
Like.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z here in Canada.
Yeah.
So we're going to be streaming a whole bunch over there. But yeah, find me on Twitter, find me in the Discord. Tell me how you play this game, because I'm lost.
Help out this Tears of the Capridom man over here.
I'm so sad and alone. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to build things. Send me your blueprints.
I don't know how to shrine. How shrine? How do shrine?
I get it eventually, okay? The shapes just wouldn't twist the right way. Damn it.
How control. Okay, Seth, how can people find you on the interwebs?
You can go back in time to the year 2009. Go to Japan, get yourself a job at Japanese McDonald's, where they will set you up on the special edition Nintendo DSi McDonald's edition that has the eFood Development Program app, which also has access to the internet, where you can go to http://twitter.com/2$hero. You can find me on there. Patreon.com/Carpool Gaming exclusive tier plus. You can get the Nintendo Drive post show, as well as Pants Patreon podcast for patrons podcast that I will be on this week. So get on over there, send your questions into me, and I'll answer them. I'll do it. I'll make it look like an accident. I'll do it.
Wow. My darn.
Anyways, y'all can find me maybe on the internet, on the interwebs, but because I'll probably be playing Tears of the Kingdom. But if I'm not playing that and I'm somewhere and you are curious, you can find me on Twitter at LocklithTWT, on Instagram at Locklith, here on YouTube at Locklith. And now that I'm back here as part of the Nintendo Drive with Carpool Gaming, and sometimes I hang out on the Twitch streams too, y'all. So, you know. Carpool Gaming Live over there. But thank you all for hanging out with us for today's episode of the Nintendo Drive. Bump that like button if you haven't already. And fuel this carpool in the comments below with your most cursed, I would say, weapon that you have created so far in Tears of the Kingdom. And if you're not playing Tears of the Kingdom, why not? What are you doing? What are you doing? That's the whole reason we are here today. Let us know in the comments. Yeah, what are you doing with your life?
What are you doing?
But like, quit your job, play Tears, all of the above. But let us know in the comments below. Join us on Discord, where we all hang out, all three of us, plus more. And thank y'all for watching.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of the new Nintendo Drive. Now, before you drive off, be sure to like the stream and subscribe here on YouTube and follow us at Carpool Gaming on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. If you liked what you saw and want more, be sure to support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Carpool Gaming.
Beak.